Hey everyone, it's Pam, and I'm here with my monthly update video to tell you everything that I was up to in the month of July. Starting with general updates, as usual, there were 2 episodes of Media Mavens, which is my own podcast I do with my friend Riley. The first one in July was about the new Wonder Woman movie, and we had Valerie Complex, who is a writer and film critic, on to talk about the movie with us. And the second episode that we did was all about Game of Thrones, and we had my good friend Mel, who I've known since elementary school, on the show to talk about Game of Thrones with us, and they were both really fun episodes, and we talked about a lot of interesting things, both about the Wonder Woman movie and about Game of Thrones the show, and I hope you will check them out. The other thing I did, which was technically something that released in August, but it recorded in July, was that I was on the most recent Cartridge Club podcast, where we talked about the game Portal. That was the game of the month for July, and I had played it before. I had played it on PC way back in 2008, I believe, but I played through again this month on 360. Had a lot of fun with it. The game really holds up and is still a lot of fun to play. So if you want to hear more about what I think of Portal, as well as what other members of the Cartridge Club think, you can check that out. I'll include a link in the description below, or you can just look for Cartridge Club Podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I just wanted to say one more thing in this update section. I've really been enjoying doing my top 100 games list. I've put out 4 episodes now, I believe, and I'm working on the next one. And this is the kind of stuff I wanted to start making videos in the first place for. My first videos were about the NES games I really loved, and this gives me a chance to talk about all the games I love, which cover all kinds of consoles, PC games from, the late 80s up until very recent releases. So I've been having a lot of fun doing that. And one of the things that especially makes me happy is when I get comments saying, "Oh, I watched your video, I hadn't heard of this game before, but I picked it up," or "Oh, I picked this game up because of your video and I really enjoyed it." Those are really comments that make me very happy when I get them, and I just wanted to sort of call that out and thank everyone who does leave me those kinds of comments, because I am currently working on part 2 of mean comments. So I just wanted to take a second to sort of shout out the positive comments and the comments that I especially like to read. So thank you for that. My shout out for this month is Musty Hobbit. Musty Hobbit is another member of the Cartridge Club and someone whose opinions on games I always enjoy listening to. He has a couple different series that he does on his channel. He does the occasional pickup video, and he seems especially interested in original Xbox titles. He also does a series, the one that I'm particularly interested in. It's called Second Breakfast, which is also a very clever name. And in this, it sort of combines a bit of an update video with a discussion topic, and he does this every week. And recent topics have included things like thoughts on backwards compatibility, thoughts on Nintendo and what they do right or wrong, stories about sort of what made him a collector, his favorite game genres. Recently, he even did one that sort of went away from the game topic and talked about fears, and he always welcomes responses and discussion, and his videos are just very well made and very well lit, and he's very chill and relaxed, and his videos are nice and calming. Back to having wine for these. In terms of pickups for this month, I'm actually very light on pickups. I bought a number of digital games, but in terms of physical, the only thing I got was Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective Volume 2 for Sega CD. And I'm very happy to have found this, and it actually Will found it for me, and I think it was like $6 or something, so it was a really good deal. And the box is in great condition, and it's got the manual with it, which is also in good condition, and the best part about it, CDs are in here too, but you don't really need to see those, is the little newspaper, which you actually use in the game. There are clues and things in here that you have to find in order to beat the game, so I'm pretty happy about this pickup. So as for games that I played this month, there was actually a ton of them, so I'll just go over some that were the most interesting. First, I got a game called Orwell, which is similar to what it sounds like. You are someone working for the government in this observation kind of role. It's like a Big Brother security state, and you get access to everyone's information, their emails and their phone calls, and when people are suspected of crimes, you have to go in and decide whether or not it's likely that they did them. So it's kind of in the same vein as a lot of games that have been done like this recently, like Papers, Please and Beholder, which I just played a little while ago. There you go. And it was okay. I didn't find it was quite as impactful as Papers, Please, and the choices weren't quite as interesting. I mean, you could pick what information you could take out of, say, an email or a blog post and what you wanted to pass on that could make someone seem more innocent or more guilty, but it sort of started to overstay its welcome a little bit, and it wasn't as interesting as a lot of other games that I've played like that. Now that I have Lily here, she's just gonna scratch her ear right beside my microphone. Another game I played was called Belladonna, and this is a short little point-and-click adventure game, and I really enjoyed this one. It was on sale in the Steam sale, and I think it was like $1, which is absurdly inexpensive for it. It's not very long, it's only maybe 2 hours long, but it sort of takes the Frankenstein story and flips it on its head, and I really enjoyed it. It ended a little bit suddenly, but overall I thought it was fantastic. And another point-and-click adventure I played is Kathy Rain. So this is a, pixel animation style, very reminiscent of like the Sierra or the LucasArts games. And in it you play a college student, Kathy Rain, who is investigating something that happened to her grandfather a long time ago before he died. And overall, it was pretty good too. I really enjoyed the puzzles in them. They sort of made sense, and they all really told you something about the characters, like they weren't superfluous as they are in a lot of adventure games. So overall, Kathy Rain was pretty good. I also played a lot of Viva Pinata because Microsoft's new Mixer thing, they had this reward thing going on where if you used it, you got a free prize, and the prize was Rare Replay. So Viva Pinata is on Rare Replay, and I played it years ago, and I just restarted again, and I love it a lot. It's got really long loading times, but it's just so cute, and I love all the little piñatas, and I love making a garden and selling the piñatas, and when like the bad evil piñatas come in, I just like hit them with a shovel until they die, and it was great. I eventually got to the point where I had like elephant piñatas coming in and bear piñatas, and they've all got cute little names that combines their animal name with a kind of candy, and overall I think that's just a really cute and sweet and well done sort of like, I don't know, farming sim game, I guess you'd call it. Man, it's hot. Every time I record these, I have to turn off the air conditioner, and that's no fun. Okay, what else? I played a game called Kane. If you noticed, I think it might have been the first episode of my top 100 games, I talked about a game called Stasis. And Kane is a sort of extension of the world created in Stasis, and it's free. It's only about 2 hours long, but it's an adventure game where you're exploring an abandoned space station or spaceship and trying to find out what happened. Very similar as Stasis, except this time you are playing a pregnant woman rather than the character from the first game. And it was good. It was very, very dark and a little bit gory, but I enjoyed it just like I did Stasis. Hi. Yeah, let me guess. Thank you. I also played The Last Station, which was free with Games with Gold a little while ago, and this is another pixel art game, and it's the end of the world. You start and you're a train conductor, and slowly, or not so slowly, it actually happens pretty quickly, something happens. There are like zombie-like monsters around, and you have to get people from train station to train station, and the gameplay loop is that every time you get to a new station, you have to go and find the code to let you through so that you can move on. So you have to go through and you have to collect items, you can make your own first aid kits and bullets and find weapons and things like that. So it's sort of like a survival resource management game combined with a little bit of action, and I liked it, actually. Some of the little survival mini games weren't my cup of tea, and I found that there was definitely some UI issues. I think it was originally a PC game, and in porting it over, nothing was big enough. Like, I could barely read the text. No, my eyes do suck, but I think it was pretty small and it would have been easier to play on the PC. But overall, that was a good game. I also played one called Rusty Lake Hotel, and this is one where I'm pretty sure was actually a mobile game to begin with, and if what I'm about to describe sounds good to you, I would suggest getting it on mobile rather than on PC, because it seems like they just ported it, and it uses Flash, so it doesn't behave that well, but it's basically like an escape room type game. Like, it's those kind of puzzles, except you're not trying to escape anything. The premise of the game is that these 5 guests are coming to your hotel to have these 5 wonderful dinners, and the guests are like a deer and a partridge, and I can't remember what the rest of them are. But it takes a rather dark turn as the guests are actually going to become the dinners. So you have to go to each of their rooms and gather the ingredients that you need to make the meal and find a way to kill the guests so that you can use their meat. So it's pretty dark, and I really, really enjoyed it. I just think it would have been better on mobile than it was on PC. And Jesus, this dog won't stop making noise. I started playing Half-Life, as I got Portal in the orange box for 360, and I've never played a Half-Life game, so I decided I would try it out for the first time after I finished Portal, and I find it holds up pretty well. The shooting is good, the graphics are okay, I'm enjoying the story. I think I'm only maybe 5 or 6 chapters in, but I'm enjoying playing Half-Life just because it's this game that I feel is just in the gamer consciousness, and everyone, even if they haven't played it, knows about it, and that's where I was, so I'm glad to be finally actually experiencing it for myself. Other than that, honestly, there's been a ton of indie games that I've been looking forward to for the last little while. I started on Pyre, I started Little Red Lie, I'm looking forward to picking up Tacoma very soon, but I think those are games that I will be able to talk more about when I've actually finished them, so I will save them for next month's update video. I think that's it. I cannot wait to turn my air conditioning back on. Let me know if there's anything that you've picked up recently or anything you've been particularly enjoying playing. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I have to bribe her to appear on camera now. She used to just be here all the time, and I used to have to push her away, but now she just lays just out of frame, and I have to give her treats. Yeah, there you are. There you are. Here. So, high five. High five. High five. Yeah.